How was it for you? Were you always wanting to become a scientist, or did it happen accidentally? Where did your journey begin?
I used to assist my parents in farming, with which I studied hard to get. I could not even spare for the uh, coaching kind of things and that.
Launching of Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, different satellites, and different work has been done over the years. So, certainly there are challenges there too. How do you see those challenges?
The launch success is 100% the zero. That kind of the preparation is required completely. Almost 40 to 45 launches we have seen being put up to the more than 25 years of service.
Do you see that in this world of science, in this age of technology, the spirituality hold the relevance? Is it concurrent to today's times?
To achieve the actual from the principles of the theory, there could be a small gap. There, even we as a scientist believe spiritual way we can get to.
As a scientist, most people are very analytical. They would want to see everything in depth, and they would observe things and they would take messages from it. What have you seen here? What did you like? What things that caught your attention?
A great non-governmental organization with very huge establishment working for a global peace have deleted.
Hello and welcome to Mindful Moments. When we look at our own minds, we understand there are moments of brilliance. There are also certain moments that we are mindful of. We understand that these are moments that we would like to cherish. When we meet people who have accomplished something in life, done something greater in life, we would like to remember those people, and we are mindful in their presence as well. Today, we bring you a special person, a person of science. We have Shri Singari Reddeiah ji. He works for the Indian Space Research Organization, currently placed at Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. For those of us who are well versed with the space technology of India, ISRO needs no introduction. And it is only thanks to the hard work of many scientists like him that today India features its place in the space technology. So let us have a conversation with him. Hello, sir. Welcome to the show. When we look at people coming from the field of science, it is very common for people to ask this question: are you always wanting to become a scientist? And I believe there are more and more people who would want to become a scientist, and very few who have achieved that, or rather have fulfilled that dream of becoming a scientist and working in the field of science. How was it for you? Were you always wanting to become a scientist, or did it happen accidentally? Where did your journey begin? Where do you come from?
Yeah, obviously, as you told, definitely many people wanted to become scientists. Is of course a dream for any of the emergent generation too. In my journey, those days, I studied the local school, government school, pavement places, and the most strategic village kind of thing. So my school name is Jilla Praja Prasid Unnata Katashala, where it is the government school. I have studied there. So my background of my parents, both are illiterates. They have not studied. They were into field farmers. Of course, I had a dream to study well. That was my enlightenment when we were into field. Of course, obviously, a farmer's son is a from. I used to assist my parents in farming. I know bit of farming too. Where my physics fundamentals were strong enough, seeing the nature, I used to apply from school days, principals to apply the opportunity. Where nowadays, where cities and other things, people would not see the nature where they can, everything is available. Uh, from there, when I got the topper in the school, my teachers, like all your teachers on brahmakumaris, helped me, my teacher, to take part in the science group, mathematics, science, and group because of my merit. So I took that, with which I studied hard to get. I could not even spare for the uh, coaching kind of things and that. So studied along with the students where they were studied in the coachings, where material somehow some rank has come for me. I have joined in the Sri Venkateswara University College of Engineering, Tirupati. My native is near to Tirupati, is about 70 kilometers village. There I studied and stood some of the times some mathematics way only about the distance I have worked. From there onwards, I had a dream to get a place where what Venkateswara, in that there is a lot of engineering opportunities as well to get. I used to pay a lot Venkateswara to observe me because it is a spiritual as well scientifically I can contribute as an engineer. Fortunately, when I am into that, I prepared for the getting government jobs. So fortunately, I got in a span of 6 months 4 jobs. All are in the government sector. Yes. This my failure was the stepping stone for this success. My failure was the final year. I was observed in some of the software engineering in the campus. That campus, I joined in the mechanical engineering. So mechanical engineering people were dropped because of a Y2K problem. Those days in 2099 time, uh, mechanicals were not observed in that but all other people was observed in the other companies. Being a meritorious, I joined in this some little higher package college, institution, that industry ERP package. That people somehow their business internationally was not good that enough that year particularly. So they robbed. That ignited me. I have to go for government job only. Being I studied in the government itself in all the days with that scholarship kind of thing. Those days colleges also very few. 60 colleges were there in the Andhra Pradesh to study. Only 3 universities, 3 JN2s, each university affiliated to 2 colleges. It comes 16 colleges totally. By language, we can recognize the which part of engineering college those. That was the scenario. Then these 4 jobs I could get because of studied hard for the gate and other post graduation other things. One is DAE, Department of Atomic University, Ansikti Nagar, Mumbai. I had been to a day. Then I was told some other difficulties, and that too, I don't want to be far away with my parents, where my great responsibilities were there to take care of those people. Then I had an opportunity in Bangalore, HAL as a graduate engineer, Hindustan Aeronautical Limited. Beside that, ISRO. Those time, ISRO Satellite Center it used to be. Now it is called URSC Satellite Center. There 1 year I had been with a different role. Levelly again in Sriharkota I gave an interview within that 3 months and I got opportunity little higher post than the URSD post. I stood further. So I joined here, which is near to Tirupati. I understood I can do better way both my family and the department. Thereby I can serve for the nation peacefully.
Wonderful. When you share your story, we can see the amount of challenges that you've faced on this journey. And many times people see that on the roadmap that you see of your own life, you see there are certain blockages, certain challenges and situations that come. And when you see these situations, if you see these failures as, oh no, I have failed and I cannot do anything further about this, then probably you're missing out on the next opportunity that is going to come. So it is always important to be hopeful, to be positive, to look forward to something new. And the final thing that you got also gave you the opportunity to stay close to your parents and also pursue what you wanted to do. Now we come to the second question. Are these challenges just part of the beginning of the life, or as a scientist also you face challenges? And if you do face challenges, how do you see these challenges? Because many people don't want challenges in our life today. If you'd ask anyone, do you want an easy life? Everybody would say, yes, that would be preferable. But also in the field of science, you'd work for the ISRO, and the entire nation looks up to ISRO as a premier institute of science, which also takes India's name in the best of the countries in the world in terms of space technology. So there is a certain amount of pressure as well, whether it was the launching of Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, different satellites, and different work has been done over the years. So certainly there are challenges there too. How do you see those challenges?
Yeah, definitely. As I was mentioning you, my journey with hard work and intellectually, somehow some of the spirituality also we are habituated thing. I have the passion towards the hard work, passion towards the work. That was the inculcation and from the childhood made me to get through the ISRO what the challenges have been faced. Suppose, for example, if we go for the preparations, launch preparations, the launch success is 100% the zero. That kind of the preparation is required completely. That kind of scenario, we work in the launch pad. The countdown is the challenging task for us. That means everything what was prepared previously in the campaign period should work perfectly as expectations. To get the expectations, rigorous trainings, tests, everything should be done. This will be reviewed by the different forums in the different knowledge level, the authorities as well. To get through all these knowledgeable authorities in different levels of the qualifications, we obviously have the emotional balance. You should have the emotional balance. I should have the enough thorough the preparedness to get through. These all we break through. And coming to the last part of that countdown we start from the T minus few hours. It is like 24 hours, 30 hours kind of thing based on the mission. It should perfectly work for that. So there is a integration of the all disciplines as well. One is the computer science, program is to work, automatically sequencing is to work. From there, the instrumentation connectivity to the mechanical process, mechanical instruments. There are many walls and complex systems will be associated. Any one of them, there is a gap, it cannot work. So, as a comprehensively, starting from the control center to the rocket, the servicing up to the geo, it should work. There is a tremendous pressure as well that will be overcome with the practice and the experience gained. Almost 40 to 45 launches we have seen being put up to the more than 25 years of service. Now, in that, there is a seniority from junior to senior. The level of load is taken from the levels. So now we have grown to the level of the higher level. Here in this is middle management. The lower management will get trained to take the challenges. Middle management will manage. The senior management will take the ISRO has the wonderful structure to accomplish zero failure. That's given us this.
When you mention these things, there is a system of how you deal with challenges. If we do not have these systems in place, if we do not have that kind of mental attitude, looking at challenges as stepping stones and trying to learn at every step, putting in hard work, not to see failures as pushbacks, but also to see them as, okay, this is a new opportunity to do something new, allows you to go further. And I think that is what scientific temperament is all about. It is not about giving up on something, but also looking at new ways and looking at things with new light. And of course, you also explain how a structure gives you that base to build upon. You also mentioned something about the word spirituality. Today's world, we all believe that this is the age of science and technology. Especially youngsters and children, we see that everybody is busy on their mobile phone. There is an age of information explosion, so to speak. Today, we have access to any kind of knowledge that we want to access today. And as a scientist, many people consider the scientists the people who are the best in the world of science. For you, do you see that in this world of science, in this age of technology, does spirituality hold a relevance? Is it concurrent to today's times?
Yeah, well, in my view, my opinion, spirituality and science side by side should. There are different two aspects of things. Science will based on the fundamentals of the principles, which will have the n number of if and buts because of what we derive after all human kind of thing. There could be a small miss could be in the principle. Whatever the principle we derive from the ancient days to now, there were assumptions, there were conditions with which it will work. Coming to the nature I mean to the spiritual, whatever we say, it is a actual. To achieve the actual from the principles of the theory, there could be a small gap. There, even we as a scientist believe spiritual way we can get to. That is the reason why the moment we go for a rocket day, including our chief, we visit a temple, we pray God is a supernatural power, also maybe, to help us for our efforts to accomplish 100% successful. That is the reason why spiritual is one way and science is other way to integrate these two to understanding and a better life. These two will both should have.
True. I am reminded of what Einstein once said about spirituality and science. One is lame without the other, and the other one is blind without the other. So it is important to have that kind of insight and also have that scientific temperament. And today, with the scientific advancement that we see in the world, we see that most of that scientific knowledge is used for the harm of the human race and of the planet than using it for the betterment. And that is the sad picture that many people today say. As a scientist, I would like to ask you a question which is very relevant to your visit to the Brahmakumaris headquarters. You've come here, you've had an opportunity to see things here, see the campus, meet the people, look at the systems. And as a scientist, most people are very analytical. They would want to see everything in depth and they would observe things and they would take messages from it. What have you seen here? What did you like? What things that caught your attention?
Well, what I could understand, this science, the more and more technology development will lead to the some way of turbulence in the society, in way of we see the weapon development, the rocket development, or whatever the defense developments, especially, will lead to the even atomic energy developments, will lead to the some potential issues. If it is crossing to the human imbalance in the emotions or the dialogues or something, it can destroy. Some other way, the technology where it can be used for the applications of human can for easy of the life, easy of the things like cell phone, TV, digital world. the banking, the other things, everywhere. Even in spiritual, we could use the digital technology to make through the transformation to everyone transformation. This is one part of this. The other part of this, but coming to the spirituality, peace on the mind, as I have attended global summit for the spirituality for the wealth and the better world, clean and healthiest state. It goes to the one way of the total world in peace in different satyalok kind of thing pure achieved. It is very, very wonderful thing for the human being. As a human being, they can live peacefully. They can have everything. They can. So that is the reason why, my view, technology being used for the peace, used for the spirituality or whatever the way we say in a peace manner, will help for the humankind. After all, whatever is being developed or technology must be useful for the humankind. It should not destroy the humankind. That way, both are important. Both without technology cannot is the specialty. This without spirituality, technology cannot be used for the peace. That way, both importance I acknowledge. Brahmakumaris summit we have visited. I have delighted after seeing the rules infrastructure, and there is a kind of one world. World in the sense what I meant to say, everything is available here. A person who can come over here, get surrendered, he can have his passion of work. For example, I am seeing you here as an anchor. I've been here. So the spiritual life, trying for the nation development, international peace, international through spirituality, getting peace, which will give strongly believe the better world. Better world will help for the total humankind, human state, which is good for everyone. If it is a battle or if it is a other some kind of destroying thing, maybe better for one kind of batch. The other nation may not be good, but as a whole world, the peace and the getting is better. So I have seen a great non-governmental organization with very huge establishment working for a global peace. I have delighted. I am thankful to. I can admire.
Thank you so much. When you say that, when you see these things, that as an organization, people working for the peace of the entire planet, and not just for one nation, but for the entire human race, it itself is such a great task, and it can only be accomplished by joining hands together and bringing all people together. And that is when this could be accomplished. As a final takeaway to our friends who are watching you on the TV and those of who are listening to you, would you like to share a message, something for them as a take-home message for them?
Yeah, I could share it. The most successful people, in my view, they should have the emotional balance, intelligent quotient, by which spirituality we can get. There is a great way, great possibilities. The moment you have the emotional balancement and other things, habituation, even my case, in my engineering graduation itself, I have undergone the spiritual some exercises, some like Siddha Samaj Yoga, some other type of came in my childhood days. So that made me to work further and achieve the other goals. What I am today, further stepping. So I would like to give the message for the young generations. They should have one hand for the spiritual way, thing also the string to their better thinking or better balancing their life and they're achieving their goals. That is one part of this one. Being a scientist in Department of Space, I would like to give a message to every youngster who are eligible to serve for nation, shining in the space applications. Space applications are lot. The world is moving towards utilization of the space applications. The space applications examples, everyone knows many of these things, right from the starting cell phone, TVs, the transportations, the positioning things, even for the other nations' safety, everywhere space applications have been used. Even for the common man, remote sensing applications. Earlier, uh, the crop utility, suppose one kind of vegetable, one kind of fruit, how much is what the yield? It used to take years together to go. Today, maybe hardly 2 3 snaps of satellite, roughly it is coming. Based on that, food security is ensured by the government, it is enabled. That is from the one part. Other space technology, communications, then astrophysics, then interplanetary things. Interplanetary things, how it come into the picture. There is a population growth, planet is limited. Some other day, it is a full up. After few decades, maybe few centuries, definitely it is going to be full. That time, there is a alternative source of planet for the people, humankind. Human has the sense to fly. How the technology has been developed, the rocketry science from solid technology to liquid. Tomorrow, beyond that, automatic also, atomic rockets also can come out. Interplanetary missions are possible. So, like ISRO also had some few examples of the interplanetary missions, Mangalyaan, like Chandrayaan. In future, recent past, we have put the Suprayaan also is one. The other Bharati Antariksha station also it is finished. ISRO is working on it. Heavy rockets also, the engineering is going on. In this vast applications is available and the country, India like country to developing country to stand out of the statistically the developed nation. This is the biggest the scope of the department. So I would like to invite many of the young minds wherever they are, even from the village and the town, homes, or maybe they can contribute to the government, the space department, and make India through. Being a Department of Science officer, I give the message to the youngsters is a bright future for them in this field, as I explained.
Thank you very much, sir. I believe the message that you shared with people brings a great deal of hope and positivity. And also, it gives an open avenue to people to look forward to and how they can also become people of science and scientists and contribute for creating a better nation and a better world. Thank you so much for coming today. Friends, that was today's conversation. When we look at people in the field of science, it often inspires awe in our minds. How did they turn out to become who they are? Not everybody comes from a privileged background. It does not matter where you come from. All that matters is your hard work, your dedication, and your sincerity. Your agility to face challenges, to not give up, but to have that strong mindset. And when we have this balance of having an emotional balance, understanding spirituality on the other hand, and continuing to pursue our goals. This was the life of a scientist. And learning from this lesson, we all can take so many things for ourselves. Hoping that you've all taken something for you. I sign off for today. I'll see you again. Until then, take care.